All right guys, welcome to Kitchen Daddy. Now this week we've got some beautiful weather, so I'm going to make a wonderful summery dish of striped bass, pan fried with some fennel seeds and oregano. But they're going to serve that with beautiful eggplant or aubergine cooked in white wine and tomatoes. Guys, this is really beautiful, light cooking, packed with flavour. So come on, let's get into it. Right, to kick things off, let's get a large pan on a nice gentle heat. Now I've got a couple of aubergines here, one purple, one white. Doesn't matter what variety you use, but you could just use about 2 aubergines for this. And for all my American friends, I am going to refer to them as aubergines because that's what I grew up with. Eggplant just sounds weird to me. So aubergine, eggplant, that's what we're talking about. Anyway, we need to slice and dice both of these aubergines. Now let's add a really good glug of oil, get the aubergines in. Let's add a good pinch of salt. Now get a lid on that and we're going to cook that really gently for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now I've got these beautiful heirloom cherry tomatoes here. We're just going to split them in half. And I've got about 6 cloves of garlic, which we're going to roughly chop up. Okay, let's give that a really good mix together. Now, if you need to add a little bit more oil, do it. Don't worry about adding lots of oil to this. You know, aubergines soak up loads of oil, but definitely add a little splash. Okay, the aubergine look great, so let's add in our herbs and spices. So I need 2 teaspoons of fennel seeds. We need 2 teaspoons of dried oregano. And we need 2 teaspoons of cumin. Now the cumin, that's going to give it a nice little North African nudge, you know. So we just get a whisper or a hint of cumin in there. Nothing too overpowering, but it works really beautifully in this dish. Okay, all of that looks amazing. So let's add in the garlic and the cherry tomatoes. We want to give that a really good mix together. And now we can pour over about half a bottle of wine, so enough to cover the aubergines and all the tomatoes. Now let's get a lid on that. I want to cook that nice and gently for about 15 to 20 minutes. What we're looking to do, guys, is break down those tomatoes, let them release all those lovely juices from inside there. So we're just going to take our time with this and cook this nice and gently. Okay, that's starting to look really good. And guys, it's actually had about 25, almost 30 minutes of cooking like this, because when I checked it, the cherry tomatoes weren't actually breaking down into the liquid. So I left it a little bit longer. Now we're going to cook this for about another 30 minutes with the lid off. And what we're going to find is that all of that wine and tomatoes are going to cook down and just leave the beautifully flavored aubergine in the pan. And it's going to turn almost into like a puree texture with some lovely bits of aubergine kind of poking through. Now for the striped bass, I've got a frying pan here. Let's get that on a nice high heat. Now the striped bass itself, it's quite a flaky white fish. It kind of looks a little bit like mahi-mahi, but it's not. It doesn't have that really strong mahi-mahi flavor to it, and it can be quite flaky, so it's really good to kind of break up into flaky pieces. Okay, let's season the fish with some salt. We're going to add a good splash of oil. Let's get the bass in there. Pinch of salt, fennel seeds, butter, and some oregano. Now once that butter's foaming, we're going to start basting the fish. Just like cooking a steak, we're just going to keep basting that, flip it over, baste it a little bit more. And what we're going to find, guys, is that butter is going to turn lovely and nutty and brown. We're going to get that wonderful aroma from the fennel seeds and the oregano in there. You can squeeze over some lemon if you want to. Something like this is going to take about five minutes to cook through. Now let's get that onto a serving plate, and I want to pour over all of that beautiful oil. Do not let that go to waste, because that's going to have a wonderful flavor to it, and we're going to use that to dress the plate when we finish. Now I'm going to let the fish rest for about 5 minutes, which gives us plenty of time to bring our aubergine back up to temperature, and then we can plate up. Now, if you remember, I was saying how striped bass is actually quite a flaky fish. So a nice way to serve this, you know, especially if there's quite a few people, is to just flake it into its natural chunks like this. Nice big chunks of flaky sea bass. And if I was really going to tart it up, I'd scatter over some micro herbs, because you know, micro herbs make everything look really cool and elegant. But that way you can just pass the plate round and everyone can just get a nice little serving of the sea bass. Come on guys, look at this, look, smell, oh, it is so beautiful. It is the perfect summer dish. Let's try the aubergine first of all. Guys, trust me, I know when I put it on the plate, it didn't look the best. It's not the best looking of things, but you've got to make it. It is so tasty. It is so tasty. And then with the fish, oh my word. You see, with that little bit of brown butter in the pan, squeeze the lemon juice, that kind of gives it a nice little bit of a roasty flavour to it to really work well with the aubergine. And again, you know, we added a couple of little flavours, nothing over the top. We still want the fish to be absolutely beautiful and simple, but we've got all our flavour in the aubergine. Sales pitch over. That is an awesome dish. Give us a thumbs up, get in the comments, tell me if you liked it. Tell me if you like that kind of presentation of just like flaking the fish up. I just kind of feel like that's the way, you know, it just makes things easy when you're at home cooking like that. So keeping it really simple. Oh God, I need to eat some more of this. Guys, cheers guys, get in the comments. Love hearing from you. I'll see you next week with something awesome. Take care, bye-bye.